Hi, and welcome to the final collection video. I'll be taking you through my collection of T through to Z today. So there is a few in there. We'll get right to it. There's a few which I really have a liking to, which you'll see. But yeah, look, thank you for sticking around and watching all my collection videos, A through to Z. Do appreciate it. Once again, if there's anything you would like to see me review, because after this one, I'm probably going to be doing a few review movies and just, some ones that I really do enjoy. So we're going to start off with T, and this one is a John Carpenter classic, The Thing. Love this film to pieces. Like, Kurt Russell in it is amazing. The entire film is just phenomenal. The remake, reboot, sequel, prequel was good, but nothing compared to this one. This one was just amazing. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go see it. Like, get it. Do whatever you have to, but see it. It's like phenomenal. The next one is the original Tobe Hooper Texas Chainsaw Massacre. As you can see, this is a special edition copy. It's kind of got the chainsaw edge there. This is just a really horrifying film. Like, it's quite scary, and it has influenced a lot of other movies that have come from it, particularly, as I mentioned in a previous video, House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Reject. So Rob Zombie was heavily influenced by this film in and of itself. Tobe Hooper did go on and do a lot of other films, but this one tops my list for his. Then we're going on to the sequel. Now, this was done by Tobe Hooper and is a phenomenal film, but it's quite brutal in different ways compared to the original. And it's also this one, if you can see there, it's actually signed. A few years back, I got this signed at a convention by the guy that played Chop Top, Bill Moseley. And yeah, it says to Jason, dog will hunt. I really love this film. There was a huge uproar. It was banned in Australia for years. Eventually, it was actually shown on pay TV in Australia, which is when I first saw it. And after that, managed to hunt down this copy. And yeah, like I said, a few years later, I even got it signed by Bill Moseley himself. Then they've got the remake. I actually did enjoy this film. Jessica Biel was pretty good in it. It's not a terrible remake. It's not great. But then again, remakes are really hard to compare to the original. So that's the T's. Now we're going to move on to U. And the only one I believe it's the only one I have for you is Underworld and Underworld Evolution. When Underworld first came out, like it was kind of like around the time of The Matrix, but it was vampires as well. So, you combine the two and that's what you get. Really well done vampires, really good mythology in the entire series. I feel later on, it kind of got let down a little. They did the prequel, which wasn't as good, and it didn't have Selene in it. However, she did come back in later editions. But yeah, it never held the same as the first one. Even the sequel to some extent wasn't anywhere near the first one. Now we're going to move on to, I do have one more you, and this one is it's actually an Australian film by the Sprague Brothers. It's their first film. The Sprague Brothers went on and did Daybreakers and a bunch of other films, but to me, this one really needs more attention. Undead. If you look at that, you've got a triple barrel shotgun on the front cover. Like a triple barrel shotgun. Like I got this from Blockbuster pre-owned because it was really hard to find anywhere else. But I love this film. It's a fantastic zombie film set in Australia, made in Australia, starring Australians. Now we're going to move on to the V's, and we're going to start off with Van Helsing, another Kate Beckinsale one. So yeah, and once again she's wearing leather. So good film, heavy on the CGI. Hugh Jackman's great in it. Like, it's a good cast. It's a good film. It's not a horror as such. It has horror elements, but yeah, it's nothing like these next two. And that would be VHS and VHS 2. Found footage, anthology movies, VHS 1 was a good film, but I think VHS 2 surpassed it, which is very rare for a sequel to do, but there was just something about some of the segments in VHS 2 which stood out and were amazing. Like there's a ride in the park, which is a zombie one, and it's kind of all from the GoPro of the zombie, which I found really fascinating. But yeah, they are really good films. The follow-up Viral is pretty good. Now we're going to move on to this one here, which Venom. Now this is not the Sony Marvel Venom Spider-Man film. This is one from the late 90s and I don't remember a thing about it. Something about New Orleans, maybe. Yeah, can't tell you a lot about it because I don't remember a lot. Vacancy. This is a good film. Another Kate Beckinsale, but it's also got Luke Wilson and a bunch of other people like Ethan Embry and Frank Wally. Yeah, very claustrophobic film. It's kind of set at a motel. Yeah, and just weird characters, but really good film. I watched that quite recently. It still holds up. So yeah, highly recommend that one. Now we're moving on to one which got a lot of flack, but I enjoyed it. It's World War Z. I'm a huge fan of the book. Max Brooks did a phenomenal job with the book, The Zombie Survival Guide and World War Z. I think Brad Pitt did a really good job taking what would have been a really hard book to turn into a movie, and he's done what he can with it. The zombies in it are fast, they're scary, like they come straight at you. Probably the final chapter wasn't as good as the opening chapter, but it's still quite a good movie, and if you like zombies, definitely something to watch. These next two, I haven't actually watched them in so long, like literally it's been at least 10 years. This one, Zombie Nation, picked it up for $10, Blockbuster Video. It's some sort of, yeah, I couldn't even tell you what it is. Voodoo's involved. It's not your usual running fast zombies or anything like that, but it is more voodoo. But I need to give it a rewatch before I actually let anything judge on it. Same with Zombie Honeymoon. Can't really tell you much about that. So, and well, almost to the end. Zombie Strippers. Robert Englund, Jenna Jameson, zombies, strippers. It's a really funny film. Like, it's really well done, and you can see that the actors in it, especially Robert Englund, having an absolute blast. Now we're moving on to the final two, both zombie films, as you would expect in Z, The Zombinator. Now, I bought this on sale at JB Hi-Fi, and I've seen it once, but I cannot remember a thing about it at all. Finally, going to wrap it up with Zombieland. Now, if you haven't seen it, it's a great film. It's a really fun zombie film. Great cast, Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, Abigail Breslin do a phenomenal job. The effects in it, the zombie effects, are really well done. The clown zombie is obviously a highlight. Bill Murray. Yeah. Look, if you haven't seen Zombieland, you're missing out. You're missing out on a great zombie film, but I don't think there's that many people who haven't seen Zombieland if they're a zombie movie fan. Okay, so that wraps up my collection video. Once again, thank you very much for watching. I know this one has went a lot longer than the previous ones, but once again, it is the last one I'll be doing of my collection. If you do want to see me review any of the movies that I have went through in my collection, let me know down below in the comments. I'll probably be doing some reviews for some other films that I stream, and yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy them too. So thank you very much for watching. Once again, click the like button and subscribe. It's much appreciated. Thanks.